Hey, hey, hey. Hello. Can anybody see me yet? All right.
Look cute though.
Thanks. I don't know why. Is it because I'm just cute or is it because of my glasses? Hello. Hey, if you can hear me, would you please, I don't know, show me that you can hear me or something? Can you send a message or throw something on here? Send me a comment. Someone send me a comment that you can hear what I'm saying. I'm trying this out for the first time. Okay, so I'm playing in my new studio my husband built me. All right, we're going to start in a few minutes. I'm just giving everybody a chance to catch up to the fact that I've actually gone live for the time being. And I want to, hey, Laura, I want a couple more people to hop on board before I start talking about the topic that I have today. So the topic that I put up was, just a general energy update and a conversation about this twin flame soulmate controversy thing, because it just keeps coming up to me. And as someone who has recently been married, so I guess I think I should talk about it, I guess. I don't really know. It's not that I don't know if I should talk about it. And let me know if the glare from my glasses is aggravating, guys, because it looks weird to me, but looks weird to me, but I don't know. Okay. So, hey, Tasha. Oh, kisses to your adorable, handsome baby. I want to hug him. Hi, mommy. I miss you. I love my mommy. So, guys, look, we're talking about energy and ascension today, and the conversation about soulmates and twin flames. Reason being that so many people, I don't know, about 3 years ago, I noticed that this twin flame soulmate conversation just got really convoluted, and people got really confused about what they were supposed to do and whether or not they were going to have soulmates, whether or not they were a part of a twin flame union, all of this crap. It was very, very complicated and convoluted, and I'm always telling people I don't like to talk about it because it's confusing. The terminology is confusing. Okay, so today I wanted to just simply explain to you my sort of limited comprehension on the subject because a lot of people are like, well, first you're going to have a twin flame, and then that energy with the twin flame is going to be weird and it's stressful. And then some people are like, yeah, but I have a soulmate and soulmates are better for marriage, but twin flames are crappy for that, but they're great for expansion. Okay, so there's all of this different convoluted information hopping on. Hi, Kevin. Hey, Doc. So, so one of the things that I noticed in my relationship specifically was that everything about my husband, right, Laura, there's a runner and chaser thing, because it's related to your own internal issues, guys. You need to understand that you are your own twin flame, okay? And when you come into what is known as a twin flame or a shadow twin union, okay, you are two broken people who are now bibbly bobbling each other. Okay. And so your twin flame has the same energetic wounds and sorrows and hurts and traumas that you also have. So, and you could say the same thing about your soulmate. So that's why I have problems with the terminology, because I don't really know what the correct terminology actually is. But I do know that the process for me was this. I had a fuck ton of problems. I had horrible relationships with men. I had sexual trauma that made my relationships even worse. And then I tried to get into a relationship that made sense with someone who, at the time, he had more sense and I had less sense in that area, because he was less traumatized in that and I was more traumatized. So our relationship was extremely chaotic based on my broken wounds and his broken wounds, and neither of us having healed anything really, and then trying to have some sort of like fake half-ass spiritual relationship. It was a disaster. So we broke up a bunch of times. Okay. Now, with that being said, my husband is the most expansive individual that I have come into contact with, because spiritually I grow so much every time we break up. Like every time we broke up, I would grow even stronger. Okay. So now we're at the point where we're physically married in real world and spiritually married also. And what we dealt with was working through all of our separate traumas. And I was the one that I was the one with the issues, guys. Like, I'm just gonna be real. I was the one that was screwed up. I didn't understand how to be loved by someone, and I didn't understand what it looked like, and I didn't understand how to give back and receive from individuals. Okay. And so the majority of us are walking around in that sort of place where you don't know how to receive love, but you desperately would like it. And so you're vibrating at a level of wanting to be loved instead of already being loved. Okay. And so that's why I said you are your own twin flame, because once you realize that you have been split from your harmony, you've been split from your true source, you've been split from the love that is source, that is who you truly are, you have to work to bridge that gap and put it back together again and smooth out the things that separated you. That is what the shadow work is. Once you get to that point where you're whole yourself, then you are able to have someone come into your life to have a relationship with you that will not be traumatic. Okay. So my crazy behind needed someone who was going to revolutionize my thought process, especially in the area of relationships. So I got this up and down situation with my husband. And now we did all of the up and downs that we needed, and we're level. So we're married. We don't really argue because we did all of our arguing prior to marriage. Like, we cleared all of our issues and our blocks with each other and the majority of the crap that had us breaking up prior to entering into marriage. Okay. And so now he built me a sound booth. You know what I mean? Like, it's totally different. I don't fight with him. We may have our disagreements, but we work on them mostly energetically. Like, I argue with him silently. And then when we both have slept on it and thought about something, then we'll come back and have a real, like, normal conversation. No emotions, no like arguing, no more attacking people, that kind of thing. So it's not an easy process, guys. I don't want to sit here and act like it was easy. Nah. That was not what it was. Did I question myself every step of the way? Fuck yes. Did I doubt my sanity? Fuck yes. Babe, the key is on the key is on the table. It's on the bed. And do I need him to find stuff? And does he need me to find stuff? Yeah, because otherwise we can't find stuff. You know, like, no big deal. So that's what I kind of wanted to bring up to you guys on the conversation of like soulmates and twin flames. Like, focus less on finding the perfect one and make yourself the perfect one. Once you become so in love with yourself that, you know, you don't care. Like, I literally had to get to the point where I did not give two fucks if my husband died. Like, that's how extreme I had to be with it. I had to be like, he could die tomorrow. I don't care. We'll meet each other in the next lifetime. It's all good. I still love myself enough to know that I will wake up tomorrow and do what I got to do. Right. And when I got to that point, that's when all of a sudden he and I were less in this crazy toxic codependent cycle of up and down and yada, yada, yada. Like, that's what's going on with people. You're not working through your trauma. You're expecting the other individual to make you happy. That's not how it works at all. You got to do the work here. When you're good here, then your heart is open, then you're broadcasting love, then you can receive love. Okay. Otherwise, what you're going to end up having is a bunch of like crap ass relationships. You're just going to jump into a relationship and then the trauma is going to kick in and you're not going to work through it and you're going to jump out. And you're going to be more traumatized. That's why you see a lot of people, they go, I don't believe in love. It'll never work. Well, because their heart was broken and they never learned another way. And so they don't believe that it's possible. Well, if you've always been beaten, you don't believe that you can get through life without being beaten, right? Duh. Okay. So that's kind of what I've learned about that. Now, the other conversation to be having right now is our current energy update. So we are heading into, actually, we're in Gemini season. Yay, happy Gemini season. So we're heading into Gemini season, which means now we have Venus in retrograde in Gemini. We also have the sun now in Gemini. We have Mercury is still flying around in Gemini. And I think there's another planet in Gemini right now. So there's lots and lots and lots of stuff happening. We have a eclipse coming up here on the full moon in Sagittarius. And we're heading into eclipse season for the summer, guys. So eclipses cause energetic shifts that affect everyone, and they also open like gateways and portals for manifestation. So June is a universal 10 month, which means the 1 and the 0 gives you a balancing of the feminine and the masculine divine. So we're balancing the traumas and the purging of both sides, feminine and masculine, and we'll be able to manifest more of the things that are in alignment for our soul coming up this next month. But that only happens, guys, if you did work. Like, because if you didn't do work, then you're going to just keep repeating things. And so that actually brings me to the conversation of ascension symptoms, okay? Every time, guys, every time you are getting on the internet and posting to people about your ascension symptom, I want you to understand that energy flows where focus goes. So if you are focusing daily on your ascension symptoms, and then you're getting on Facebook, and then you're regurgitating them to your friend, and then you're sharing them with everybody, and all you're doing is talking about your ascension symptoms, I want you to understand that you are going to then draw more ascension symptoms to you. That is not the goal of the ascension symptom. The goal of the ascension symptom is to notify you that is an area of trapped trauma or spiritual unrest or something else that you need to focus on and deal with in order to complete your ascension spiral, to move to a new level of expansion or whatever the case may be. So say, for instance, you're getting the symptom of, this is a common one. People call it bobblehead, or you get cranial pressure, or this is a third eye chakra activation. So you'll get these crazy headaches related to the ascension process, also related to the Schumann resonance, which has to do with electromagnetic frequencies of the earth, and also having to do with solar storms. You guys, anybody who is highly sensitive, pay attention to all of these things, because they are all affecting you. The reason you're sensitive is because this helps you be aware of shifts and potential, and you can help other people with them. It's not for you to just get like wrapped up in the symptomology and not understand that it's a process. So this weekend, when I was checking my Facebook, I saw people all weekend who were like, these energy vibes, they're so hard, they're so crazy, they're attacking me, they're doing this to me. I was sleeping, y'all. I was sleeping. Why? Because prior to the energy that was coming in, I went ahead and I went and did a Reiki session with my Reiki teacher so that I could clear myself, so I could be balanced, so I could understand and do what I need to do, which would help keep myself level in the process of one of these major energy transits. So you need to be up on your self-care, and you need to be aware, guys, of what is going on in your body, and then not just ignoring it. Like, a headache is not just a headache, okay? If you start with the premise that all disease is trapped energetic trauma in your body, then you need to just work backwards from that. You're going to jump on this symptom. So like this, you see all this clearing I'm doing in my throat? You hear all that? That's a throat chakra activation, guys. That's not the fact that I don't have nothing in my throat. This is a spirit thing. I'm clearing my throat chakra so that I'm able to clearly disseminate this information to you folks. Why? It's my goal, my mission, my purpose to bring clarity and conversation to others. So therefore, my throat needs to stay clear. And when I'm speaking on topics that I don't quite understand, I have to go ahead at this point, just speak my truth. And if I don't speak my truth, then I'm going to end up in issues, because then it causes disharmony in my message and I cannot disseminate the information with clarity that you need. Makes sense? Okay. So one of the things that I've noticed, oh, hey, Sean, and hi, Paula. I didn't even see you guys popped in. So thank you all of you for hopping on. Really, 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 I appreciate it. So I wanted you guys to understand there's a couple of different things going on right now. A lot of it has to do with your relationships, your communication, who you're communicating with, when you're communicating with people, and why you're communicating with people. Ooh, this is important. This is important. They just told me this one. Guys, it's going to be difficult to deal with people who are not spiritually attuned in any way, shape, or form. The more spiritual you become, the further you go down this, like pathway, the more you end up realizing that you're incapable of really dealing or hanging with certain individuals. Yo, don't beat yourself up about it. Just let them the fuck go. Like, let them go. Because guess what? That is a sign from the universe that you guys are no longer energetically aligned. Stop arguing, okay? Like, we were taught to distrust our gut instincts from a long time ago, and so we feel like, oh, well, according to society, I should be a little nicer. I should limp along and let their energy hurt me longer instead of cutting them the fuck off. Like, some people you have to. And don't get me wrong, sometimes you don't want to cut people off, because I'm definitely that guy. I have a loyalty problem. I'm loyal to people who are hurting me. So that's not what you need to do. We're breaking old patterns. We're starting new energetic situations. And part of that is releasing everything else that you did prior. So if you were always a yes man, yes ma'am sort of person, well, sometimes you need to be like, fuck no. Or you're like, oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. Yo, fine is not cute, guys. Fine is not cute. Fine sucks. Fine is what you do when you can't tell people that you're hurting. Fine is what you do when you can't share that you're suffering. Fine is what you do when you think nobody actually cares about you. That's when you go, fine. You don't want to be fine. I want you to be fucking good. I want you to be okay. I want you to feel free to tell people how the fuck you feel. And if they don't want to listen, that's perfect. That's perfect. There are therapists for that. Okay? Like, people need to understand that your friends are not your therapists. So when you have issues and you have that friend that you go and you dump on all the time, like, you're doing them a disservice and you're doing yourself a disservice, because you have a real life issue that you need to seek help for, not sit in your friend's ear and emotionally vomit upon them. Okay, that's not fair. You know, I had this conversation earlier with someone that I was like, I can't hang with normies, which is not really a word, but I'm just using it, and sorry guys, but I can't hang with normies because they tend to project their emotional vomit on me. I'm highly sensitive. Like, I can tell stuff about you just from the way you text me. I don't even have to see you or hear you. So when I interact with people who don't do any sort of spiritual maintenance, who are completely unaware that there are things happening outside of their five senses, then I have the tendency to just be like, I gotta go. Like, I'm not going to hang out with you. I'm not going to spend time with you. And I'm not going to come see you. Why? because I have a duty and a responsibility to myself first to maintain my own energetic bonds and barriers and care. Rachel, hey, I have not seen you like in 1,000 years. Boo boo, mwah, mwah. And hi, Jaja. So look, so that's what it is, guys. You have to realize, please, 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 the most important person that you're filling up on a daily basis, this person right here. This is who you're filling. This is who you're filling. And when you come into people and they're not filling you, send them away. Like super simple. Filling, not filling, send them away. Like, it's fine. And even like, sometimes you can't send people away. Okay, so say for instance, you're staying at your parents' house. You can't send them away, right? They're driving you insane. Leave the room. Leave the room. Leave the house. Go into the yard. Put your feet on the earth. Put your hands on the ground. And release the tension, okay? Another thing that I've noticed that people don't do, you guys, you get into an argument in your house, and then you just let the energy of the argument just like percolate in the house, like just balling around. You know, energy has to go places, guys. So if you get into an argument in the home, I suggest that you get you some sage and clear your home, because as soon as you do that, you clear all of that tense energy, and then it allows health and happiness to return. I do this at my house. Well, it used to be every 3 months I would do a full saging of my parents' house. Just like a full saging, because they would go on vacation or something. This was prior to them understanding all of the like weird spiritual stuff that I was doing. So they would go on vacation and I wouldn't tell anybody. They would go on vacation and I'd be like, yes, everybody's gone. And I'd put on some really loud music and I grabbed 2 huge sage wands and I would go and sage the entire house. I'm talking inside the cabinets, inside the closets, inside the garage, inside the refrigerator. Like, I don't care. I would do the perimeter of my house. I do all of the cars that are parked outside, and I even do the backyard. Like, I would sage everything just to clear the energy in the home. And that's how I actually was able to evidence a lot more like patience. And yes, Paula, you do need to sage your teenager every day, because I sage maybe 3 or 4 times a day. Mona, I love you, and I was talking about you this morning. If you still make soap, please drop a line in the comment, because I need some soap from you. And guys, Mona, my cousin, is like the most amazing person. I love her to death. She's my first babysitter. So yeah, Paula, teenagers, you got to sage constantly. I sage my daughter. She is 13. I sage her daily. And actually, she's been raised to like learn to sage herself. So when her energy gets a little too funky and she can't even manage herself, I just hand her a stick of sage and like send her away. You know, I'm like, here, take this crystal, take this sage, go sit down. Another thing, guys, if you don't have sage, there's a lot of things that you don't have to purchase stuff to clear yourself. So maybe that's something we should talk about. Water. Water is cleansing and clearing and protecting and regenerating. Water is everything, guys. So you can literally clear your energy with a shower meditation, okay? If you've never done a shower meditation, yo, get on game. Hello? Like, shower meditations are easy. You have to clean your butt every day, right? Like, well, not every day. Not everybody's on that everyday thing. But most of the time, you try to clean your butt every day. So why don't we maximize our shower time and make it spiritual and cleaning at the same time? You know what I mean? So you can clean your physical aura and clean your physical body all at the same time, okay? And you're like, how do I do a shower meditation? Easy. Get in the shower and pray and ask your spirit guides. Be like, yo, I need to feel clean. I need to let go of some crap. I need to whatever. Because you guys, you already use the shower in this way. You just don't think about it with intention, because you cry in the shower. Everybody cries in the shower. Like, that's where every mother goes to hide her sorrow so that like her kids don't know she's struggling right now. Like, every mother goes and cries in the bathroom. So when you go in the shower to cry, hey, Katura, mwah. So when you go in the shower to cry, at the same time, unload the rest of your shit. Just be like, oh, I can't deal with this. I let it go. I surrender. I surrender this to my spirit guides. I surrender this to God. I surrender this to the angels. Pick whatever you want, guys. I'm not big on words and semantics and stuff like that. I just like to keep it simple. Here in this temple, we preach love, all that other stuff. You're on your own, okay? So when you're focused on love and clearing and cleansing yourself, you're going to go ahead and just take deep breaths, guys. Find your heart space. If you're in the shower, don't inhale the water and choke yourself, okay? You're going to find your heart space and you're going to just take some deep breaths. And as the water is like running over your body, you're just going to be like, please clear and cleanse me of anything that is not for my highest good. Please let all of this wash over me and off of me and be transmuted with love. And that's it. And let it go. And stay in the shower till you feel better. You know? Like sometimes I do shower meditations. I'm in there so long, I forget to actually shower. And I'll be like, okay, I'm done. I'm going to turn the water off. And I'm like, oh, wait, I never use soap. Let me get back to it. And I'll go back in and finish taking a shower. But it's because you will feel lighter. And you guys need to find ways to lighten your burdens. And so this is one of the ways that you can lighten your burdens. Yay. Oh, God, yes, Mona's making soap. Y'all, you're gonna see me break it down with a happy soap dance. Okay, great. Y'all, my cousin makes soap now. You need some good soap. All right. And let's see. Oh, Jessica says water, salt, and vinegar in the glass. Leave it next to the bed. It takes away negative energy. That's a good one, Jessica. Absolutely. Guys, the other things that you can use, help yourself out. Get you some crystals, because crystals are my thing. If crystals don't work for you, use essential herbs or essential oils. Use incense. All of those things. You guys need to play around with what makes you feel lighter and healthier and all of that stuff. Okay. For me, the things that work for me and have worked for me for the longest are basically this. I always have crystals, like always. This kyanite is almost never not with me. The rest of them just move around. So there's crystals, there's sage, there's astrology, and there's tarot. Those are kind of like the basics of my spiritual practice. And then after that, now I'm like expanding into different things, but more like herbology and tinctures and learning how to mix and brew things for like, I guess, casting out spirits. I don't know. It's kind of a new thing, so I'm working on it. But currently, hey, Erin, Amy, and Natalie popped on. Hey, girls. So definitely one of the things that I was talking about earlier was recognizing when your ascension symptoms are triggering something that you need to pay attention to. Okay. A lot of us were dating narcissists or had children with narcissists prior to the 2012 shift. Okay. And someone else the other day was like, did the world end in 2012? Yes and no. Okay. That's the spiritual answer. Yes and no. 2012 was the beginning of the Ascension Awakening portal. There were people who were prepared for it prior to the 2012 split, but their second waivers, according to the Dolores Cannon breakdown of waves of people who came to help the transition. Okay, so if anybody's wondering about that. But I kind of want to stay on topic. So guys, do me a favor. You have any questions you want to ask me? Drop them in the comments right now, because this is just me spitting what was on my dome at the time. So if you have a question about Ascension, soulmates, anything, I'll stay on here for like the next 5 minutes or so and answer some questions, because I pretty much don't have anything else to say on that topic. If you guys haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. I would really appreciate it. And plus, hey, Erin, there are more episodes of Gaia Soars, which is my podcast where I discuss different stuff like this. And I kind of explain a little bit about how I got to know all of the stuff that I do, because it's weird. It is weird, the stuff that I know. And I guess, well, since I'm waiting for questions, guys, one of the things that happened to me, yeah, Natalie, it is definitely transformation time, boo-boo. Definitely. And we have to have a chat anyway, because you got stage 1 clingers in all directions on your side. You're doing better, though. shit, what was I saying? I can't multitask, guys. I can though. So let me tell you about my spiritual awakening, guys. Like, how did I come to know all this random ass crap, right? So the first thing is there is a type of cognizance called claircognizance. Okay, claircognizance is just the ability to know things without having any sort of reason to know them. Okay, so one of my ways of interacting with spirit is to have claircognizance. So oftentimes when I meet an individual or interact with their energy, I just know the weirdest shit. Just like the weirdest things. I'll be like, blah, 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 blah. Are you on a mountain right now? And they'll be like, how'd you doing? Okay, so that would be a situation of claircognizance, because I don't actually know what you're doing, but I do know. And then Celia says, what is ascension and how does it relate to soulmates? Okay, so that's a great question. Ascension, okay, is the self-awareness of an individual soul as they awaken to their multidimensionality. That's the best way for me to say it. So you are born in these bodies and you think you're just these physical bodies, right? But as you grow and are triggered to ascend, you go into yourself and become more aware of your inner soul knowledge. You become aware of your multidimensional self. And so that's what the ascension process really is. It's you coming into the knowing, hi John, of your actual godhood, of the fact that you are an individual who is capable of creating reality, that you're an individual who is capable of leveraging the energy of the universe to create things that you want in this reality right now, in this time space. And so that's why everybody who's here came here now, because this is part of how cool it is to start off in a box and then break the box and then all of a sudden now be able to do so much cool shit. Okay, so your ascension is about self-awareness. Now, how does that relate to soulmates? Well, Cecilia, you missed it. It was at the beginning of the message. You are not going to gain really your soulmate until you have enough self-awareness to heal yourself and attract a healthy relationship. Okay, now people have these definitions that confuse me, and so I cannot really work with them. So I have a definition that I use where people are part of your soul tribe. Okay, and when you interact with people from your soul tribe, you'll have very visceral experiences with them. Like, you'll be like shaking sometimes when you meet them. Sometimes you'll break down crying. Sometimes you'll just feel like you've known them your whole life. Like, it's amazing. It's like a deep connection. That's your soul tribe. Those are people that you've possibly incarnated with before, that maybe you did missions with before, or past life incarnated, whatever the case may be. You and their energy recognize each other. That's all we need to know. Okay, so now when you are interacting with your soul tribe, you're going to learn more things about yourself, because the reason you meet your soul tribe is to trigger yourself to know more. Okay, in my understanding of life and how everything works, everything is medicine. Every bad thing, there's no such thing as good or bad, but every bad thing that ever happened to you is a trigger point for your expansion. That's why there's no such thing as a bad or a good thing. Everything is medicine. Good, Natalie. You're starting to listen to your spirit guides. Very good. That's excellent. So what's going on with that, guys, is when you're going through this knowing, right? And you're going through this comprehension of something, and you're getting to know your God source. You're getting back in touch with God. That's what your ascension really is. Because when you're born here, you're separated from God, because that's how you had to come into this vessel, right? You had to come into this vessel, so you're no longer spirit essence, so now you're separated from God, now you're in this body, okay? All right, great. Now what do I do in this fucking body, right? Well, now that you're in the body, you got to figure it out. You got to figure out where you're going to go, what you're going to do, and how you're going to get there. And then you have to remember, hey, why did I come into this body again? And wasn't I supposed to do something with someone? And where is that someone? Okay? And so this is how we end up on the conversation of soul tribe, soulmates, twin flames, yada, yada, yada. Because as you are trying to remember where you came from and who you came with, now real life, 3D life is kicking your ass, and you got to deal with that. Okay, so that's what's going on with you in the process of your awakening. Some people will tell you they've been awakening their whole lives. I am one of those people. I've been awakening since roughly around age 9, but I didn't even know that's what it was. I just was, I was just going about my business, getting traumatized. I had no idea. Okay. In retrospect, I can say that I started awakening at 9, but the bulk of this major expansion point, the point that is bringing us to this point where I can tell you guys all this stuff, started for me in 2012. Okay. And then in 2014 is when everything went freaking haywire, and I started my dark night of the soul. Okay. So much stuff. Aaron says, are twin flames, ascension, and karmic debt all related? That's a loaded question, Aaron. Golly. The answer is yes. Are they all related intrinsically to each other? No. But are they related to the process that we are all experiencing? Yes. Why? My thought pattern is that your twin flame is yourself. Once you unite your flames within yourself, which is your feminine and your masculine. Because see, you got to remember, guys, your masculine and your feminine energies are all housed in one individual, right? Everybody has a mixture of masculine and divine energy within them. I have a preponderance of a heavy masculine energy, which is why people are like, Kimmer, you're overwhelming. And I'm like, yeah, bitch, whatever. Okay. But that's what it is. So in the twin flame problem, and thank you for this question, Aaron, as actually it helped. In the twin flame issue, if you haven't balanced your masculine and your feminine, it's very difficult for you to draw the kind of soul relationship that you actually need. So you're not going to be able to pull that off. You're going to just end up drawing people who are helping you cancel karmic debt. Okay. Karmic debt and ascension are related because while you're ascending, you have to release karmic debt in order to continue through your ascension process, or you just get kind of stuck in a cycle of things that you need to clean up. Okay. So, and you can kind of tell that from your astrology chart too, which I just found out, which I thought was fascinating. There are references in the degrees on astrology that will tell you if someone is like restarting a new karmic cycle. Very cool. So yeah, so that's what the like links are between twin flames, ascension, and karmic debt. They're related to everybody expanding themselves from the inside out. Because at the end of the day, like the only reason there's an ascension is because we separated ourselves from God, and that's not proper. Like God didn't make it that way. We were not supposed to be separated. And so because we are separated, that ain't right. So in order to bring everything back to center, to unify us, to make everybody whole again, this is what is happening with the ascension. And then on top of that, something that most people don't realize is that the planets actually help with the shift. I'm trying to think of how to say this better for you guys. The reason that the planetary transits seem to, I don't know, screw people over so badly, I guess. Natalie, you said it the best one day that you were like lunar sensitive, right? So everybody's lunar sensitive. And I don't mean that to downplay what you said, but it made sense and it didn't make sense. Everyone is lunar sensitive because we're all 75% water, okay? The moon rules water. And if it affects the tides, it affects you, okay? So The moon rules the tides rule movement, and we are subject to all of that. So if you find that you yourself are being overwhelmed by lunar cycles, there is a way for you to separate from that, because you don't have to be affected by the lunar cycles. And that's something else that I should just mention to you guys. Like, you don't have to feel crazy when there's a major energy surge. Like, you don't have to. But initially, when you're learning how to sense the energies and start to realize what's happening to you, you're gonna be at the mercy of the energies. Later on, you're gonna be like me and you're just not gonna give a fuck. You're just gonna take a nap and be like, oh, the energies are intense? Rough. But even still, that's not all the time, because there are some transitions that affect me more, right? And there's a lot of transitions that affect me way less. So it just depends on your progression through your ascension pathway. And so that's why I want people to understand, like, you don't, I don't even know how to say this. It doesn't have to be as hard as it is. It doesn't have to be as hard as it is, but you're the only one who can make it easier, because you need to become self-aware enough to access your free will and speak to the universe and tell the universe, hey, slow it down. I can't take all these downloads. I'm overwhelmed. Okay? And you can do that. You can ask the universe. Natalie, you can ask your spirit guides to be like, yo, there's too much coming in right now. Can we just stem the flow of information? And they'll pull back. But when you don't have control, because you're unaware that you should have control, or that you even were allowed to have control, because a lot of time you just don't fucking know. Like, we weren't raised to understand this. Nobody told us shit. I've met 2 people in my life who grew up in a family of witches who have a clue. 2. I am not that person. I grew up extremely Christian. My mom is Seventh-day Adventist. She is always just like, are you sure you're not talking to the devil? I'm like, no, Mom, it's not the devil. Like, every time. You sure those tarot cards aren't the devil? No, Mom, it's not the devil. Okay, but, these are the things. Like, you weren't raised to deal with what's happening, and so it's hard to make sense of all of it. And so you have to remember, you have free will, and you do not have to be subject to being overwhelmed by the spiritual presence. You can ask them to take it down a notch. You know what I mean? And me, I fucking forget. Like, I forget too. I forget. Like, just last week, I was getting beat down by spirit. Look, spirit put me to school for 3 whole weeks of such intensity that I just was like, I need a nap. I was like, I need a nap. And so I said, you know what? Let me do a Reiki session. Let me reset myself, because normally I don't feel like I'm getting jammed by spirit that hard. Normally we have like a nice even flow. We talk, it's cool. Right? So I was like, whoa, what's going on? Did my Reiki sesh, and that was what came up. Yo, remember, you have free will. You can pump the brakes on your ascension, guys. You don't have to go so hard. Like, ease back, B. But at the same time, there are people that you need to cut the fuck off, that you're allowing to suck your energy. And I don't care if they're your family members, you can cut them the fuck off. Like, I want you to understand that. It's fine. Energy supersedes blood, money, people you actually like, people you pretend you like. None of that. Like, I have cut off so many people in the last 8 years. Shaja, book a session with me, babe. I'm your therapist. That's easy. You're part of my fam. All right, I got you. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what I do. Classic. What's up, boo? Hey, y'all, if you need a bomb DJ and an awesome nail tech, check out Classic Murray, guys. He makes, his nail form is like to die for. Loves it. Classic lines. So really, guys, so that's what it is. What it really breaks down to is your awareness and your free will, and recognizing that you have your free will and that you're allowed to exercise it, and not being just like run over by shit. Like, you don't have to be run over by nothing. Natalie, I did a legit separation from lunar influences meditation. I did it last year, and I will see if I can find it and I will send it to you, because that's one of the first things that you want to do. Stop tying yourself to cycles so that you don't get wrapped into the cycle, because then that allows you more free room. You know, like, now you can go ahead and negotiate with what you need. You're starting to learn. So, like, imagine, guys, that your ascension is learning how to drive. And you know, when you're trying to like learn how to drive and you go to start, like, hit the brake the first time, but you don't know how hard to hit the brake, so you like jerk everybody. That's what's happening in people's ascension. They think they know, they tap the gas, the engine is way stronger, and they floor it, and you're like, oh, and then you're like, oh, I didn't mean to go that fast. And I'm like, oh. That's what's going on with your ascension, okay? As you gain control, you will be able to like level it and manage it, and it'll be like more like this. It'll be more like a tide, more like an ebb and a flow. Like, you'll just be smoothly riding over these waves, you know? Or if they do get to you a little bit more, then you know what to do. Okay, like, you know what to do, and it's driving you crazy. Natalie, your ex is a disaster. You need a binding spell for him. We will talk about that later, because that is why you're having such intense ascension symptoms. The drain is overwhelming with your health issues, okay? Hey, Francesca. Yeah, so that's what's going on with your symptoms. So when your symptoms are like at an all-time high, and you're just feeling like, what's happening to me? Why can't I just do normal people stuff? Man, ask them to turn that shit down, bro. To be like, oh, I can't. Because you don't have to go that hard, okay? You don't have to go that hard, all right? So, I don't know. Any more questions, guys? Hi, Natasha. Hi, Natasha. You have some of the coolest people I know. I know some of the coolest people. I'm so blessed. Natasha and I was like my favorite dang bank teller, y'all, back in the day. Thebomb.com. Like, I love it. So yeah, Natalie, serious shit going on over there. That's why your symptoms are much higher and unnaturally intense. Okay? A lot of draining happening. Oh, so let me talk about that real quick. Guys, when you are being drained by attachments to other people, whether you realize it or not, you will have an increase in your pain. Yeah. Okay, so if you're a person who already is exhibiting symptoms of something like fibromyalgia, or you're experiencing high levels of anxiety. So right now, oh, shit. All right, this is a big one. Guys, if you normally suffer from anxiety, okay, put your hand up like this right now. If you suffer from anxiety, I want you to put your hand up, put your hand in the middle, and put your finger in the palm of your hand. We're going to do an activation to help you clear some of your anxiety and to help you get back on track, okay? I don't even know what it is yet, but we're going to do it. All right. All right. So I am, repeat after me, I am ready. I am ready for change. I am ready to embrace who I really am. I am ready to leave fear behind. I'm ready to release the constant worrying in my mind. I am ready to step into my greatness. I am ready to surrender to the universe. I am ready right now to be the best that I can be. I am so ready to have a great life, to step into my greatness, to be who I truly am, and to not let anybody tell me different. I am not going to get in my own way. I am who I need to be, and I can be even better than this every second of every day, and that's freaking okay. And anybody who ain't on it, they can go, because it's okay for me to get better. I don't owe anybody anything for anyone about that. Okay? That's my activation, guys. So mote it be. So mote it be. All right. Oh, that was a little, do you guys feel that? That was like a little shake off energy. That was interesting. Okay. Yeah. Classic. We've been talking about that, but you know, I'll get back to you. You need to inbox me too, boo. Because I need to undo your anxiety so that this salon can just kick ass some more. Okay. So guys, the things that are keeping you small are your limiting beliefs and your own worry, your own fears, your own I'm not enoughs. And I have all of those I'm not enoughs too, guys. Like, trust me, it's not like I'm any better at not being anxious. I'm a little bit better at it, but I did 20 years, bro. I did 20 years hard slave labor in the mental health camp. Okay. 20 years hard slave labor in the mental health camp. I had panic attacks that would last me 2 weeks at a time. I had freaking crippling anxiety that would not allow me to like breathe. And then to the point that it caused me to be like vomiting every day, like really bad stuff, you know? So Avenel, plenty, girl, I ain't seen you in the longest. Welcome, welcome. So, you know, guys, this is what we're talking about these days. Like, ooh, Celia asked another amazing question, guys. I'm a sidetrack whatever I was about to say and answer this. Is it possible to reclaim blessings and opportunities we missed when we made the choices out of fear before coming into ascension? Yes. But not in the way that you think. Okay? Because we're not going backwards. If you missed that opportunity, fuck it. Just let it go. The universe is constantly trying to bring you an opportunity that will course correct you to your path. Okay. So your whole goal now is to not keep staring in the past at the shit you missed. Like, you have to understand, to the universe, today is old news. Yesterday is really old news. 2 years ago, the universe is like, why the fuck? Okay. God only looks forward, y'all. God looks forward. God never looks back. God makes shit and keeps it stepping. So if you're in the process of constantly looking back, yo, you not there. You're not with God. You have already separated yourself because God is looking forward towards the thing that you wanted and is giving you what you want. Okay. But you have to be open to receive it. How are you going to be open to receive it if you're staring in the backward and looking at what you lost, right? This is the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, guys. When the guy took his wife out of Sodom and Gomorrah and God said, don't look back. If you look back, you're lost. And this hoe was like, oh, I miss my old home. So she looked back, like, and she got turned into a block of salt. Like, yo, he is leading you out of destruction towards what you actually need, want, and will thrive on. But you have so little faith that you're looking backwards. Don't do that. Because when you're looking back, you're missing the shit that's coming right now that God is trying to give you, bro. And every time you're stuck in the past, that's when you're missing it. Every fucking time you're looking back, you're missing a sign from your angels. You're missing a sign from your guides. You're missing the brand new person in your life that was fitting to help you. You're missing all of that shit. Why? Because you're here in your head in circles going, what if, and but what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? Shit or get off the pot. That's what you should do. Shit or get off the pot. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. It doesn't matter what the decision is, guys. It doesn't matter. Just fucking make one, yo. And then deal with the consequences and learn from it. And that's what you do. All right, guys? I am a person who has failed so many times. I've failed so many times. People were like, she can't possibly win. She's failed so much. She's wasted potential. Do I look wasted to you? Do I look wasted, y'all? You know what I'm saying? So I need you to understand that this is about faith. This is about faith. This is about you. This is about you not giving up on your dreams. This is about you dreaming even bigger than what people tell you you're allowed to dream. Like, this is about you not cutting yourself off from your God source, from not being stripped from who you are. You are a being of divine, glorious love, light, and sound. When you are not in that thought pattern, then you're broken. You're away from God. Then you're not thinking properly. And then when you make choices from that space, you're hurting yourself. Okay? But when you're in that place, when you know who you are and you know that you're God, and then you know God is walking with you because you're in your path, you're in your purpose, you're in the trueness and the wholeness of your love for yourself, right? This is why you need to be your own twin flame. Then and only then, everything just comes to you, guys. With God with me, who can be against me? That's what that really means. When you embody your true godhood, when you embody who you meant to be, who you were supposed to be, your authentic nature, then nobody can be against you. Because who are they to tell you who the fuck you are? Nobody can tell you that shit. Only you can tell you who you are, okay? Only you. So whatever you've been hearing, these stories that aren't love, I mean, get that shit out your head, bro. That shit's not for you. And if you can't get it out of your head, I want to say this, guys. So many of you are struggling with things, and it's because you need to go see an energy healer to help you unburden yourself long enough to hear God speak to you again. Because that'll give you the faith to stay. That'll give you the faith to fight. And that'll give you the understanding that you are not alone. So many of you are worrying because you feel that you are alone. And that is the furthest thing from the truth, man. God is carrying you right now, y'all. God is carrying you right now. Like in this moment, while you're stressed, God is holding you. Because that is how you are still breathing and making it. And that is why you're watching this live. So I can tell you you're not alone. Like, period. That's really all it is. Yes, girl, put the blunts up in the air for that. For real. Listen, guys. Damn, we've been on this live for a whole doggone hour. Woo! I love you guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me and listening to me prattle on about whatever it is I prattle on about. And I hope that you guys have had the opportunity to check out my podcast, Gaia Soars, on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. Tell your friends who you think might need to hear this crap. I just want you to know everybody's waking up. Like, people don't really have a choice this year. And so you don't have to do too much if you feel like, oh, I need to help my friends wake up. You don't need to help them. The universe will do it for you, okay? Because people are getting knocked right here in the chest. And those heart palpitations, guys, that is your heart chakra trying to open so God can talk to you, so you can step into your divinity, so you can kick ass, okay? That's all it is. Because if you're playing small, you're not playing to the glory of God, guys. That's not what he made you for. That's not what she made you for. Our divine parents, guys, made you to come out here and be glorious. Like, that was the whole purpose. I feel like I gotta take my glasses off. Guys, I'm looking in the camera. God made you, and God is a woman, to be glorious. And if you don't feel glorious, and if you're not living up to your truth, and if you're hiding in the shadows, and you don't feel that you're whole, then it's time for you to get some energy healing and come on down and get whole again. Because the whole purpose of this ascension is for you to bring yourself back home to the divine true nature of who you are, so that you can feel loved and you can be supported and you can do everything that you always wanted to do. Yo, that's it. After that, it all becomes a cakewalk. But the reason that you want these things is because you are meant to have them. You're just blocking yourself because along the line, people were mean to you. They told you shitty things. They told you you weren't good enough. They told you were never going to amount to anything. They told you were weird. Whatever the fuck crappy things people told you. They told me all types of crappy things. You know, just pick one. But these are the reasons that you aren't healing and expanding and being as glorious as you could possibly be. That's it. That's the only reason. Once you get through those things, your life changes drastically. I know mine has. And I'm thankful I'm super thankful, and which is why I come now and provide myself for service for you guys. That's why I provide these opportunities for people to ask me questions. It's why I'm doing my Reiki sessions. It's why I'm doing my different intuitive coaching sessions, because I really love helping people, and I really feel bad if I don't help people. So I kind of have to do it. Like, I don't know. Anyway, I have to help you. So please accept my help and do better for yourself, because that's what really matters. If you heal yourself, you heal the world. That's my motto. It always will be. And I believe it with every fiber of my being. So on that note, you guys, I don't see any more questions. I will post this on YouTube, this live, so you guys can check it out. I'll probably break it down into like bite-sized pieces, but I will post this on YouTube later, guys. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Yeah, girl, I'm on my purpose. And y'all, a couple of you guys that I shouted out to in the video, please hit me on Messenger and DM, or just go to my Silver Lining Spirals page and book an intuitive consultation, and we'll get everything set up. You guys, I love you so much. Thank you for joining me on this live. Have a blessed evening. Power to the people.